What's going on, America? This is Kevin from Kevin's Corner, and it looks like that we got a day or two relief from Omarosa. You know, they were giving us a heavy rotation and an overdose of Omarosa from the left-wing media, the fake news networks, and they gave us a break. But you know what? On my show last night, I was thinking about something, and you know, it's coming down to this. Omarosa, you know, it was premeditated betrayal. That's what it was. It was premeditated. Now, let me give you an example. When you look at the decisions that people make that might affect you, I think the average person, when they do something that hurts someone that they care about, they're not doing it to hurt that person. It's just because of some type of selfish motive or an impulsive reaction to something. There's so many reasons. But because people are close to you in proximity or through family or whatever, people take it personal. You know, you're indirectly affected because that person is close to you, even though it had nothing to do with you, what they did. But it impacted you. So you're going, you know what? I can't believe you did this. You hurt me. How could you do this? Give you an example of that. I counseled a young boy whose father ended up on crack. And this man was, you know, telling me how his father don't love him. Man, my father ain't nothing, man. This dude, he got hooked on crack. He be stealing from the family. This cat, man, I can't stand him, man, because if he loved me, he would get off the crack. And I said, settle down there, young boy. Settle down there, young boy. I said, now listen, you're reacting emotionally because you're too close to the situation. It's your dad. You know, you're not looking at it from the outside in. All you see is how it's impacting you, and you can't understand that how could my dad, if he loved me, do this? Why can't he just put the crack pipe down? It should be easy if he just loves me. Well, I had to paint the reality to him. I said, when your dad took his first hit of crack, for whatever reason, it could have been curiosity, it could have been to cope with life, it could have just been a dumb decision. But whatever decision it was, I'm sure in his mind he wasn't thinking, man, when I hit this pipe, I'm doing this because I don't love my son and I want to destroy my family. Ah, yeah. That's what the good life is made about. That's what dreams are. Oh, yeah. Now let me go ahead and implement all my hate and destruction towards my family. No, he wasn't thinking that. He wasn't thinking about you at all, young boy. What he was thinking about was his own selfish needs and desires. And unfortunately, he made a choice that causes a major problem and conflict to rise up in him, and now his addiction is competing with his love for you. And I'm sure if he could separate his crack addiction from you, young boy, he would. But he can't. He's struggling. Now, because you're his son, you're indirectly impacted. And so when you look at people who make choices to hurt you, a good way of evaluating it is to stop for a second and think, what was in this person's mind when they made that choice? Were they simply caught up in the moment? Were they simply being selfish and saying, hey, you know what? I'm not thinking about my wife or my husband or my brother, sister, my son, daughter. I'm just thinking about how this is going to make me feel right now. And when I do it, it's going to serve a personal need. And then afterwards they go, oops, oh, shoot, I forgot that I got a brother who might be affected or a sister or whatever. You know, people kind of think of those things as an afterthought, the results. And then the people that are close to him that's hurt, they can't see it that way. They're not going, well, you know what? You should have thought about it before you did it and this and that. And I always say, now wait, just take a second before you dive on them to say, okay, the intent was not malicious. The impact hurt me, but it wasn't designed. Their choice was not designed to hurt me. And that can help you cope a little bit with the choice. But at the same time, if you could stop and think to yourself that when this person did this, their thought was, I'm doing this to hurt Kev. Now I got to cut you. If somebody do something to me and I can go back and say, you know what, I got a feeling that was malicious in intent. Yeah, I got to cut you loose. Because you're malicious. You after me. You're going after my throat. You're not just saying, well, you know what you said last night hurt my feelings and it just made me make an impulsive decision to cut your car tires. Okay, I might can live with that. I hurt you. That's what made you cut my car tires. But if you came into the relationship premeditated, saying, you know what, I bought this knife because later on in this relationship, I'm going to cut Kevin's car tires. Now I got to cut you. I got to cut you loose, okay? Well, look at Omarosa. If President Trump would have said something at the last minute throughout their 12-year relationship, right before she got fired or something, and he would have been like, Omarosa, you have never lived up to the expectations I had for you. You're dumb, and I hate black people. I don't even know why I brought you on. I brought you on for optics. If he would have said something like that, and then she would have went out and said, I'm going to tell everything about President Trump, that's one thing. If she would have been scarred personally by him, made an impulsive decision or reaction in the moment, decided to go out and say, well, these are all the things I feel now because I'm hurt President Trump did this to me, and it's just an impulsive decision to go out and spread this garbage, that's one thing. If she would have made a recording at the, after Trump said, man, you a bunch of bleeping, I can't stand you, and I hate all black people, and you can take that to the bank. If he would have did that, and she would have started making recordings, then I could say, okay, maybe something prompted that, and it wasn't personal, okay? But see, she started recording these things way back when she first came on board. This was premeditated betrayal, okay? This was not prompted by, I've been hurt, scarred. This was not something that she just said, I happen to have a tape recorder in my office that my elbow bumped and it started to accidentally record me and Katrina Pearson and some of my other, colleagues. And it just happened to record. I just kept it on. It kept recording from a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago. It just stayed on. I didn't even know it was on. And it's kept recording all the way up to the point where General Kelly, let me go. But no, she knew what she was doing. She came in with intentions. She came in premeditated, saying, let me go ahead and start compiling a whole bunch of garbage so that later on, after the money train ends and the wheels fall off of its train, I'll have something that I can now fall back on and put out there to cause controversy, stir up all kind of trouble, and then I can make some cheese on the way out. This was premeditated. So that goes to show that this woman came in with intentions on this little final project that she now has released. She was compiling this from day one, which shows that she's evil. Now, when you want to convict somebody of something, you have to show that what they did was premeditated, because that shows that they're evil, they're vindictive, they're methodical, they're planful with their evilness, all of that stuff. So if you want to really question somebody's character, you have to go back to, what were you thinking when you made this choice? And why did you make that choice? If you happen to kill somebody, God forbid, because you simply came home and saw them in your house and they just hurt a loved one and you just lose it because you're so emotional. Oh my God, you just beat up my wife, and then you decide to shoot that guy. It's like, okay, that guy, it wasn't his intention. He came home, he saw his family member hurt, and he just lost it for a minute. But if you've been sitting back weeks following that person, showing up at their job, checking when they come and go, checking out their route, and then you sabotage them at the end and shoot them, that's premeditated. That shows us that you had a mission to practice some evilness. And by her making those recordings years ago, shows that this woman is 100% uncut, pure, right off the evil root tree, evil. That's what she is. She's Dr. Evil's assistant. No. She is the mentor of Dr. Evil. Yeah, that's what she is. So anyway, for those that might want to have a little bit of sympathy for Omarosa, cut me the bull, okay? I don't want it. I don't want to hear it. Just cut through the bull, all right? And look at her intentions that were premeditated to betray the president. Therefore, I can't trust not one thing this woman says, period. If she told me she was standing right in front of me, I would question it. I'd be like, are you really? I don't know. I got to verify that. I need a blood sample, DNA, all of that stuff, because you might not be Omarosa. Okay, that's how much lying that she has done. All right, God bless you. Find me on Facebook, Twitter, and then catch me on Wednesday nights at 7:30. All the links are in the bottom. You want to donate to Kevin's Corner, there's links in the bottom. Do so well. All right, God bless you. See you next time in Kevin's Corner.